It started on a Wednesday morning, 3 days before my wedding. I was supposed to be picking up champagne with my best man, but instead, I stood in front of my open closet, heart pounding. The suit was gone. Not just any suit. This was my wedding suit. Midnight blue, Italian wool, satin trim, custom stitched initials inside the cuff. I'd saved up for it, waited 3 months for it, and now it wasn't there. I checked the garment bag rack, the back of the door, even the guest room. Nothing. I took a breath and opened the kitchen drawer where I usually toss receipts and random paper. There was a dry cleaning ticket from 2 days ago. Okay, I muttered to myself. Maybe I just forgot I dropped it off. I grabbed my keys and headed to the dry cleaner on. The guy at the counter gave me a friendly nod. Hey man, I'm here to pick up a suit. Carter, Liam, dropped it off on Monday. He took the ticket, scanned it, and frowned. Huh, this doesn't match our system. Are you sure this is our place? I looked at the ticket again. The barcode was smudged and the logo looked off, like it had been printed from a home printer. I felt a chill crawl up my spine. Back home, I sat on the couch, staring at the fake ticket. One name kept coming to mind. Jade. My sister. She had a key to my place, had been helping with wedding errands, and just last week she mentioned how she thought the suit was a bit much. I didn't want to believe it, but my gut knew. I called her. Jade, I said, have you seen my wedding suit? What? Your suit? She said, all casual. No, why? It's gone. And the dry cleaning ticket I found is fake. Did you take it? She laughed. Oh my God, Liam. You probably just forgot where you put it. You've been super stressed lately. Jade, I'm serious. It's missing. Well, she sighed, maybe check the back of your closet. Or under your bed. I mean, it's not like someone would just steal a wedding suit. I didn't say anything. I just hung up. That night, I couldn't sleep. My fiancée Elena noticed. You okay? She asked softly. I think someone took my suit, I said, and I think it was Jade. Her eyes widened, but she didn't say anything. Just reached for my hand. Later, while taking out the trash behind my building, something caught my eye. Dark fabric wedged between a pizza box and a broken picture frame. I pulled it out. It was my suit. No, it was what was left of my suit. The fabric had been cut, ripped clean down the middle. The sleeves were shredded. The initials inside the cuff? Gone, like someone had deliberately sliced them off. My stomach dropped. I leaned against the dumpster, heart pounding. I didn't yell, didn't scream. I just stood there, holding what used to be one of the most important pieces of clothing I'd ever owned. I'm Liam Carter. I'm 33 years old. I'm a trauma surgeon. I've spent my entire adult life fixing people when their worst days hit. After everything I've been through, losing both parents before I turned 25, working 18-hour shifts through the pandemic, I never expected I'd get a second chance at love. But I found Elena, and this wedding meant everything. And my own sister had just tried to tear it apart. I didn't say anything to Jade after finding the destroyed suit. Not yet. I needed to know why. And more importantly, how far she was willing to go. That answer came the very next day, in the form of my best friend, Marcus. Marcus had known me since college. We were roommates during med school, and he'd stood by me through every hospital crisis, every family blow-up, every late night. I can't do this phone call. He was also the only person I trusted to help me make sense of what the hell was going on. We sat at a cafe 2 blocks from my apartment. My coffee went untouched. Marcus leaned forward. I didn't want to say anything unless I was sure, he began carefully. But there's something you need to know about Jade. I looked up. Go on. She's been talking to Elena behind your back. What? She messaged her. A few times, apparently. Said the family was uncomfortable, that you were rushing things, that Elena was changing you. I blinked, stunned. What the hell does that even mean? Marcus's face darkened. She told Elena she was worried about your money, that maybe Elena was pushing for the wedding because of the inheritance. I scoffed. That's insane. I know, Marcus nodded, but that wasn't all. Jade also tried to plant the idea that your parents wouldn't have approved, that marrying Elena would divide the family. I leaned back, stunned silent. A slow burn was building in my chest. She's the one who's been dividing the family. I muttered. Marcus looked around, lowered his voice. And there's something else. I overheard her on the phone last week. She didn't see me. I just walked in. She was talking to someone about the estate, about how Elena found a clause in the will that she didn't. I stared at him. You're kidding, she said, and I quote, "If that wedding happens, I lose leverage." My jaw clenched. Hard. It all made sense now. Jade didn't hate Elena because of some vague family loyalty. She hated her because Elena, with her law background and quiet observance, had noticed things, like how Jade had been quietly moving assets around from the family estate, like how she'd managed to convince the rest of the family that certain expenses were necessary when they were actually benefiting her. And Elena? She'd told me she suspected something was off months ago, but she hadn't pushed. She just started quietly gathering documents, asking subtle questions. Turns out, Jade noticed. So this wasn't about a wedding. This was about control. She wanted me to look unstable, lost, like I couldn't even keep track of my own suit before the biggest day of my life. Like maybe I wasn't ready. Like maybe Elena was the one pushing everything. But what Jade didn't realize was I'd already lived through chaos. I knew what pressure looked like. And this was just bad theater. I'm going to handle this, I said quietly, sipping my now cold coffee. Marcus smirked. I figured you'd say that. I just need a few days, I said, and a new guest list. I didn't confront Jade. I didn't text. I didn't call. I didn't even look at her the same way, because I had something she didn't. Time and a plan. The very next day, I called Elena. I told her everything about the suit, about the messages, about Jade's manipulation. She didn't cry. She didn't get angry. She just went silent for a long time and said, "Then let's make this our wedding. Ours, not theirs." We changed the venue first. Quietly canceled the old one. The new place? A small art gallery in the countryside Elena had always loved, but never thought we'd be able to book on such short notice. Turns out, the owner was one of her old professors. The space was ours in minutes. The wedding date? Moved forward 3 days. That gave us just enough time to breathe, but not enough time for gossip to catch up. And the guest list? Let's just say it got a little lighter. I built it from scratch. Personally called every friend, mentor, and family member I trusted. I told them what was happening. Not all the messy details, just the important truth. This wedding is for love, not performance. If you're with us, we'd love to have you. If not, no hard feelings. Most understood. A few didn't. And Jade? Well, Jade wasn't even invited. On what was supposed to be my original wedding day, she texted me, "Jade, where's the rehearsal dinner again? Can't find the address." I didn't reply. The next morning, "Jade, Liam, what's going on? No one's picking up. This isn't funny." Still nothing from me. That evening, just before the new ceremony began, just as I stood by the mirror buttoning my new suit, which actually fit this time, Marcus peeked in. "You ready?" I looked at myself. 33 years old. A doctor who'd rebuilt his life from the ground up, and somehow about to marry the only woman who'd seen right through the chaos and still stayed. I smiled, more than ever. Meanwhile, somewhere across town, Jade was still calling guests who wouldn't answer, still trying to log into a wedding portal that no longer existed, still wondering why no one responded when she knocked on locked venue doors. The celebration went on without her, not because we wanted to hurt her, but because we were finally done letting her hurt us. And just like the clean line of a well-tailored suit, sometimes silence makes the sharpest cut. The wedding was perfect, but the real celebration? That came after. I'm not a vengeful person by nature, but some truths don't just deserve to be known. They need to be. 2 weeks after the ceremony, Elena handed me a sleek black folder. Inside were documents, bank transfers, emails, notarized statements. Months of quiet work. all pulled together by her friend Maya, who also happened to be a corporate lawyer with a knack for exposing family discrepancies. Are you sure you want to do this? Elena asked me one evening while we sat across from each other at our kitchen table. I looked at the folder. At her, she tried to ruin the most important day of my life. I said, "This isn't revenge, it's accountability." See, Jade hadn't just tried to sabotage my wedding. She'd been stealing. Not directly, but through the family's charitable foundation, the one our parents had spent decades building, the one Jade had somehow wrangled herself onto the board of after Dad's stroke. She'd been rerouting small grant amounts into shell accounts, moving money through consulting payments to firms that didn't exist. We had the proof. And more importantly, we had the timing. Elena and Maya didn't go to the police first. They went public. An open letter, written with surgical precision, was published in the Morning Ledger, our city's most respected paper. It didn't name her at first. It simply outlined uncovered financial inconsistencies within a long-standing community organization. But the last line, "We regret to announce that Jade Carter will no longer be serving on the board of the Carter Family Trust, effective immediately. All necessary legal actions are being taken." That was all it took. The rest of the pieces fell like dominoes. Former donors backed out. Social media lit up. Old friends whispered behind glasses of wine. Her name trended on local forums, and not in the way she'd hoped. I didn't post anything. I didn't comment. I didn't smile. But that Friday night, Marcus stopped by, holding his phone out. "Have you seen this?" he said, laughing. She tried to spin it, said she stepped down to focus on her wellness brand. But then someone leaked a PDF of the board's official removal letter. I shook my head and chuckled softly. Guess her brand needs rebranding. Jade tried to recover, of course. But when you build your public image on curated lies, even the truth sounds scandalous. And the truth? It was everywhere now. I didn't need to make her feel small. She did that to herself. Publicly, elegantly, and completely. All I did was finally stop protecting her. The air was warm and the sea breezed gentle as Elena and I sat on the terrace of our villa overlooking the endless blue of the Aegean Sea. Our honeymoon in Santorini was a world away from the chaos we had left behind. No dramas, no betrayals, just the quiet hum of waves and the promise of new beginnings. I took a slow breath and let my mind drift back over everything that happened. Jade's lies, her sabotage, the stolen suit, the hidden schemes. It all felt like a distant nightmare now. One I'd survived, and more importantly, one I had won. Elena looked up at me with a soft smile, her hand resting on mine. "You seem different, Liam. Lighter." I nodded. "I am. It's like I've been holding my breath for years, waiting for this moment to finally exhale." I gazed at the horizon where the sun was melting into the sea, painting the sky with oranges and pinks. Some people think revenge has to be loud, that you have to shout to make a scene, but that's not how it works. Not for me. I paused, watching the flicker of candlelight between us. You know that quote about smiles? Some smiles don't come from joy. Some of the quietest echoes of revenge. That's how I feel. Did you come up with that? I chuckled softly. No, but I lived it. She squeezed my hand gently. And Jade? I sighed, a mixture of relief and finality in my chest. She's lost. The family trust, the social circles, everything she tried to cling to, gone. She thought she could ruin us, but instead, she destroyed herself. The thought of Jade, alone, exposed, and cut off, no longer filled me with anger. Instead, I felt peace. I don't hate her. I admitted I don't even want her to come back. Elena smiled softly. "Do you think she'll try?" I shook my head slowly. "If she does, she'll find silence. No reaction. No drama. Just the calm of someone who's finally free." I raised my glass. To freedom. Elena clinked her glass against mine, her smile radiant. To new beginnings. We sat in silence, watching as the sun disappeared beneath the horizon, a symbol of the past finally fading away. For years, I thought revenge would be about fighting back with fire, but it turned out to be something much more powerful, a quiet reclaiming of my life. This, I said quietly, is my victory. And in that moment, surrounded by peace and love, I knew I was exactly where I was meant to be,